I used to help my mom a lot. A lot. So I would give her money a lot. Yeah. Whatever I would make sure that I give her.
So not all went to waste, by the way.
I think money, if it's not invested to generate more, I don't think it's an investment. To some degree, I think it's a waste.
Yeah.
Because for it to be able to help you, you have to invest it for it to generate income. So, I mean, helping her is good, but I think it was not good enough. If we had the knowledge that I have now, I probably would have done much more with that money. Yes, and the other thing you need to know is that music iko na uchawi mingi sana. We were doing music, lakini watu walikuwa wanatembelea uchawi. Oh yeah, watu walikuwa na sacrifice blood sacrifices.
For fame?
Of course. Your music, yeah. My friend, there are things that are seen on camera. Kuna vitu watu unafanya. I'm telling you things. We have seen all sorts of things. One time, I'm in Kampala, and me, Red Sun, the Vultures, we're in backstage, one of those concerts. And one of these big secular artists standing in just a few meters from us behind begins to talk. But I think he never realized that we were listening, we were hearing him. And then he said, the devil wants my soul. He wants me to sacrifice my soul for fame and money. And then the person he was telling asked him, so what are you going to do? And he said, I'm considering it. And can I tell you something? He did. And he became, listen, ridiculously big. Like, ridiculously big.
Wow. Like,
ridiculously big. Listen, we were doing music, we were famous, more famous than him. But we couldn't match we couldn't match him. So one of the things we didn't do is we made our minds a long time ago that we are not going to do any of those things. Izo ndio vitu tulikata. Tulisema, we are not going to do blood sacrifices, and we are not going to visit a witch or a wizard for this thing. We made up our mind. We said, if it's end, let it end, but we will not do it. That is one of the reasons why we survived. But there are very many musicians who died. Very many. And the media doesn't know why they died, but we know why they died. They were playing with something that many people don't know behind the scenes. Yes. All these guys that died, go do your research, go back and do your research. All of them, there's a connection to witchcraft and fame. So you sacrifice blood sacrifice, so that you can be, so that spirits can help you, demonic spirits, and you dedicate the music to the spirits. So the spirits carry the music and make it famous. So music is very spiritual. People don't know. All these things you're seeing, they are not just music. It's not just music. There's a spirit behind it that markets these people. And some of them, even their videos, you watch their videos. I was watching a video, I don't know who is it, but I think it was a Nigerian artist. And this Nigerian artist is falling from somewhere and is falling in the flames. I don't know who that is. I don't know the song. And then I looked at it because now I understand symbols and understand what this means. I know what that means. But someone else doesn't know. They think it's just a good song. But it's more than that. Yeah. So there was a lot of witchcraft, a lot of blood sacrifices. People died. Very many people died. Loved ones died. Musicians trying to be big and becoming bigger. Others, things went wrong and they died. Yeah. So there was that. There was making money. There was all this. And then there is the witchcraft. To be able to sustain the music. And service the altars where you sacrifice for that music. So hapo kuna mambo. So what kept us? Imagine, I used to pray. Can you imagine? Well,
while singing secular?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful. I
used to pray. One time, I was in a concert in one of the towns. Let me not mention it. And I was in a club. And a gentleman came. I've never met him before. But for some reason, he looked to be very famous, and people in that club revered him. He seemed to be moneyed for some reason. Then we had a conversation, struck a conversation, and it was time to go to sleep, and we're sleeping in a hotel. He said, come and sleep in our house. So we decided to go. So I left, Vinnie Banton left, and Vinnie Banton had a lady. So we were leaving. Listen, when the lady saw the gentleman, she became so hysterical. When we got to the house, it was a huge house. Listen, a huge house. The lady became so hysterical. She said, if you're going inside there, leave me here. I will walk home. So I asked Vinnie Banton, kwani nini mbaya na msichana? So apparently she knew something we didn't know. So she didn't say, she said, if you guys are going inside there, leave me. I'm not coming in, I'm going.
Yeah.
And she was so, she got mad. So Vinnie Banton left with her. Mimi nikamwa, niendeni kule mnaenda. So me, since I was alone, I spent in that man's house. Listen, I had a small Gideon's Bible. You know the small Gideon Bible?
Yes, yes.
And I used to carry it.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I used to carry it.
Yeah.
So I remember that night, I said a prayer and put the pillow, nikaeka pillow juu hiyo kitu na nikalala. Listen, later, like months later, I now understood. So the gentleman was a Satanist. He himself told me months later. He came to look for me. He said, I was assigned you.
For your soul.
My assignment was you because you're famous, so that we can win as many people as possible to our kingdom. He said, but I failed. So I asked him, how did you fail? He said, I don't know. For some reason I failed. Listen, he said this, his words. He said, we will meet in heaven or hell. That's the last thing he said. And he left. That's when I began to now sort of come into my senses that, hey, wait a minute. So hii kitu tunasikia ni ukweli. And there are many other things I can tell you in between. But that's when I started thinking, I think I need to be serious with my life. I think if this gentleman said what he said and he meant it, and his assignment was me, and he explained what this means. Listen, he explained to me things, my friend, that I may not say. However, I began thinking, then Jesus must be very powerful. I began thinking that this Jesus is not a joke. And then I now began to recollect every time I would go, sometimes I would sleep, alafu siku natokewa na some demonic spirits. But when you say the name of Jesus, zinakuachilia.
Yeah.
And then I began to connect and I asked, kunijiuliza tu, nikaona manze hii jina Jesus, there's just something about this name.
Yeah.
And there's something about God and there's something about Satan. And that's when I can say, slowly I began, nikaanza, kukua serious kidogo. I'm still going to the clubs, but in my mind I'm still asking myself these questions. Who is Jesus? And why is it that when you mention his name and something is against you in a dream or is harassing you, it loses power and vanishes? What is that and who's Jesus? Though upon your mind yangu ilianza kufikiria and to start asking questions. And I started asking questions. We went to South Africa, came back. We went to the States, came back. And I'm still thinking. So one time niko club, carnival, nimeshika hivi, I had a huge glass of cocktail juice. And I hear a voice. And a voice said to me, look around. And I began looking around. And the voice said to me, all these people you see, if Jesus comes back, all of them are going to hell. Now, nobody had ever told me that. I had a voice within me. I was not drunk. No, I was not high. And then the voice kept quiet. And the voice came back again and said, you too, if you don't get saved, you're going to hell. And the voice kept quiet. Listen, I don't know how to explain it, but that thing got me. So for 2 years, I was running away from it. When I was doing Yonitaka, I was still running from that voice. Can you imagine? I was doing Yonitaka, but I'm still running from that voice. Because I'm famous, I want to be famous. You know, some people think Kuokoka ni jokes. You know, that some people say, oh, yes, it's a publicity stunt. But it's not. The voice came back to me again. And the voice said, I created you to serve me. If you accept to serve me, I will use you. I will use you to reach the people that I love. To reach many that I love and to bring them to myself. Because if they don't come, if I return and they are not with me, they are going to hell. So that's how I had the voice. Na safari ikaanza.
Wow.
A battle between this, should I get saved?
Yeah.
Nikiokoka watu watasema nini?
Yeah.
Oh, and that's the battle many other musicians are going.
Yeah.
Most of these musicians wanaimba saa hii. Ni watu walikuwa church.
Yeah.
Ni watu walikuwa church hawa. Ni vile sitaki kumention hapa majina juu wanaweza kasirika. But mnajua mlikuwa church nyinyi. Sasa mnafanya, hawa watu wanafanya mziki ya secular. Ni watu walikuwa church wote. Some of them were raised by parents who are born again. Now they are talking like they don't know God. Yeah, it's wrong. My friends, you need to go back to God. It's wrong because they know the truth. And they've decided to sell the truth or trade the truth for fame and